Guys, Star Wars issue number 16 just released a couple of days ago, and my god, is it fire. It is one of the greatest, awesomest comics that I have had the privilege to cover for a long time. It's all intertwining, of course, the War of the Bounty Hunter series. Now, 3 comic series are converging all at the same time. The Star Wars comic series, the Darth Vader comic series, and upcoming the Dr. Aphra comic series as well. They're all taking place on Jakara, between Vader, Luke, and Dr. Aphra, who are all at the same place at the same time. I mean, look at this cover, dude. Issue number 16 features Darth Vader in the background in a purplish hue, and Luke Skywalker in his pilot uniform wielding his yellow blade. It is a classic one. I mean, this looks like a poster, for crying out loud. I seriously would consider hanging this on the wall as a poster. But all in all, the caption for this comic is Missing in Action. Missing in Action, of course, refers to Luke Skywalker, who is still traveling to Jakara to meet up with Leia, Chewie, and Lando Calrissian, who are all witnessing the craziness of Darth Vader. We're gonna get to it very, very soon, so subscribe and stay tuned to this channel. But for this portion of issue number 16, we're gonna talk about a vision that Luke Skywalker had in a re-duel between him and his father on Bespin on Cloud City. The summary reads, War of the Bounty Hunters missing in action. Luke Skywalker joins Starfleet Squadron to rescue Alliance leader Mon Mothma from an assault led by the Imperial Destroyer Ultima II. We covered this in issue number 15, where we saw Starlight Squadron and Luke Skywalker give a blow not only to the Empire, but kill Admiral Calaxo as well, a new Imperial villain who is now old news as well. During the mission, Luke has a vision of Darth Vader, which leads him to believe Vader is coming for Han Solo. Now Luke must make his way to a planet called Jakara. Now, if you haven't watched that video, please go check it out. It is between Admiral Calaxo, Luke Skywalker, and the Starlight Squadron. They all go head-to-head, and in the end, of course, the rebellion comes through. But immediately during that moment, Luke sees a vision of Vader inside the Death Star trench, destroying the Millennium Falcon and destroying Han Solo. He immediately gets the precognition that Vader is going after his friend. Now we see Luke Skywalker in hyperspace en route to Jakara. He's talking to R2, telling him that I've gone over that battle on Cloud City in my head 100 times. It was like fighting a storm, like one of those ripping, tearing gravel storms back on Tatooine, the kind that could strip you down to your bones. Now, this is what gets me excited. We've seen all things, every sort, manner of storyline in these comics, but we've never really seen Vader being described this way. Luke Skywalker goes on to talk about Darth Vader, precisely about his fighting technique and fighting method, how it was to actually face Darth Vader as a novice. Luke Skywalker was still not a full-fledged Jedi during that time, and he describes Darth Vader as not only being a storm on Tatooine, but much, much more. So he goes on to say, it was more than a lightsaber duel. Master Yoda taught me about those. This was something else, as in his head, he has reimagined this duel between him and his father with his yellow blade. Now he is inside the complex just before they go outside, and we see Vader hurling stuff at Luke Skywalker with the Force. Vader didn't just fight me with his lightsaber. He used everything, as we see Luke Skywalker in pain getting hit by all sorts of debris. Vader could hit me from any side. He ripped machines off the wall and threw them at me. He used the Force to knock me off balance. His saber was always there, always pushing past my defenses. That red blade always coming for me. I couldn't even take a breath. It took everything I had to keep him off me. Fighting back? Forget about it. As now we see Vader approaching Luke Skywalker. This is what I was talking about. This is what I was referring to. You see Vader being described in this sort of manner. This is how powerful Vader was, not only in strength and lightsaber combat and a skilled duelist, but you see his fighting technique, you see his overwhelming nature and how it took down Luke Skywalker. As he said, he couldn't even take a breath. That's how relentless Darth Vader really is. He describes him very perfectly here. This is what other Jedi faced when they faced Darth Vader, or any enemy for that matter. Vader was not just wielding a lightsaber, he was tactful. He knew exactly where to hit, at what point, at what time, precisely. Luke goes on to say, everything I tried, every move Yoda taught me, Vader threw them all back in my face and hit me twice as hard. But that was last time. I survived. And I remember, as the lightsabers are now clashing between each other, I learned I can be a storm too, R2. A confident Luke Skywalker is now blocking Darth Vader, who is telling his son that this was indeed impressive. I'm stronger in the Force than I was when I faced Vader and Bespin, and I understand how he fights. As now Luke is returning the favor, he is now using the Force and strategizing to distract Darth Vader. He's hitting him with debris. Exactly during that time, Luke slashes with his yellow blade and cuts off Vader's right hand that is wielding his blade. This time, it could be different, as Luke is reimagining everything. Vader is on his knees without his right hand. I'm sorry, says a determined Luke, as he is prepping to strike down Darth Vader. This time, I'd have a chance, but as soon as he tries to strike down Vader, he grabs Luke's hand with his left hand. In a manner of speaking, Vader simply retorts, which is why you fail. Similar to what Yoda said, this is why you fail, when Luke Skywalker was deluding himself or was with a lack of confidence. You could see it in Luke's eyes. In a moment's notice, Vader had made him lose all hope. As much as Luke wished that this time it would be different, it wouldn't be so. Even in his reimagining, Vader grabs Luke's hand and lightsaber and with sheer strength strikes down Luke with his own lightsaber, presumably killing him on the spot. A shaken up Luke Skywalker is now all but disillusioned and without hope. Who am I kidding, R2, says Luke. Yoda was right. He was right when I left Dagobah, and he's still right today. Vader is right too, as again we see that first meeting in Bespin, Luke now is wielding a yellow blade. Similar to that time, Vader says to Luke, the Force is with you, young Skywalker, but you're not a Jedi yet. Vader's waiting for me on Jakara, a hopeless Luke says. The Force made that clear. He must know that Han's there and is expecting me to go after him. Leia and Chewie won't be able to handle him. I have to help them. I have to. I need advice. I need help. I need Ben. Please, if you can hear me. He is trying his darnest to connect through Ben's Force Ghost with the Force, but he just can't. I can barely touch the Force, R2. I can feel it, but it's like through static. I can't reach out to Ben. There's something in the way, and I think I know what it is. Finally, it sets in on Luke Skywalker, the mighty Jedi that he was trying to be. This emotion that was blocking his Force sensitivity was fear. Fear of being killed by Darth Vader and finally defeated had overcome Luke Skywalker, who was now hopeless and disillusioned, and as a matter of fact going straight for Jakara, exactly where Darth Vader and the rest are located. It's very strenuous and weird to see Luke Skywalker this way, getting his confidence back and losing it in an instant, just as he thinks of Darth Vader. Again, this comic really shows how powerful and mighty Darth Vader is. He instills fear in his enemies. He crushes their spirit. This is what Luke Skywalker is experiencing right now. This is why fear has overcome him. So this comic goes on beyond this, and there's a lot more to cover now. Plus, we have War of the Bounty Hunters issue number 3 that converges with this comic as well. It's all gonna be great, guys, so subscribe for daily videos like this. We're gonna cover it extensively. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Now you can have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you. Until then.